I want to put it out there that there's emotion here today, and
Sure.
we recognize our own, right?
Mhm,
But we
mhm,
recognize that before we got on
mhm.
here that we have our own emotion connected to this topic, and we hope and believe and trust, and we prayed before we started to make
Mhm.
sure that what comes through our conversation today is one of healing and growth and empowerment and inspiration. Welcome to the podcast, Empowered by Design. I'm your host, Dr. Liz, a licensed psychologist and owner of Visionistas by Design Wellness Boutique in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. This podcast is about the power of connection and a proactive approach to mental health and overall wellness. It's about finding and owning your power right now and using it for good by nurturing the connection of body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit. Empowered by Design podcast delivers psychological concepts and practical strategies with a real-life approach, designed to empower health and wellness, optimal performance, authentic connection with yourself and others, and purposeful, joyful living. Be well, live empowered, dream, design, deliver. Hello and welcome to the Empowered by Design podcast. I am Dr. Liz, your host. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I have such an amazing episode to bring to you. Such a wonderful treat. One of my favorite people, Vicky Alercia, who is a member of the Visionistas team, is here with me today. And we are going to be talking all about her new program, A New You. Welcome, Vicky.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be back on your podcast.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you here again. So, if you didn't hear our podcast before, it is episode 45, I believe, 45 or 47. Just go back
I
and
don't have it memorized, so
me
your
neither.
guess is better than mine.
One of those, it's in the 40s, that you can hear our first conversation together when Vicky had just joined the Visionistas team, and you can learn a little bit more about Vicky. Today, we are specifically talking about this beautiful program that has been in Vicky's heart and soul for a long time, and it is coming now. It is being born. It is launching, and I cannot wait to get into it with you today. So I am going to turn it over to you, Vicky, and just tell us about this program.
So, this program definitely is connected to, what did you say, heart and soul?
Yes, I did.
It's near and dear to my heart because it is the program that was born through my journey of my divorce and leaving my unhealthy marriage. And this program is using my healing journey to attempt to help other women to heal through theirs. So it's a self-love coaching program designed to assist women with their healing, rebuilding their self-esteem, and basically learning how to become healthier in every aspect after leaving a toxic relationship.
Yes, I love that. And so as I'm listening to you, you know me, how I get so excited and I can feel it in my body, and I'm like wanting to clap, right? Sometimes, because that's like my excitement. And also at the same time recognizing the very delicate nature of this topic that we're talking about, right? Because it's full of emotion. It is full of can be full of pain,
Mhm.
right? And pain fresh or pain that it has been there in the past. Um, yeah, right. We
Mhm.
breathe. That's what we do here.
Mhm.
We breathe
Right.
a lot
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
We take
Mhm.
breaths, and so I think that is a part of this is also to kind of put it out to the listeners here is that we are going to be talking about self-love and the importance of the journey of healing and growth through pain and through unhealthy relationships. I'm so glad that you that you talked about it in that way. Toxic relationships. You may label your own relationship as an abusive relationship. However, you characterize a relationship that did not serve you, was harmful, was hurtful, was unhealthy, right? Whether whatever the case may be, but I want to put it out there that there's emotion here today, and
Sure.
we recognize our own, right? But we recognize that before we got on here, that we have our own emotion connected to this topic, and we hope and believe and trust, and we prayed before we started to make sure that what comes through our conversation today is one of healing and growth and empowerment and inspiration for us and for you, the listeners, at whatever stage you are at. And we will make sure that we talk to that as we go through. But just the invitation is there to check in with yourself as you're listening. Maybe you need to pause and come back, and that's okay. That also you tune into your body and what might come up in your body and your emotions and your heart and soul as well. And so that you take care of you. And we're going to talk about how to do that as we go.
Absolutely. There's actually a quote that I would like to share. So I read affirmations every day. It's just part of my healing journey, something that connects with me, my mindset. And I had read this one a couple days ago. I spent so many years walking on eggshells, never doing or saying the right thing. One day I decided I had enough and I stomped all over them. Those broken eggshells cut me so deeply as I walked away, but this was the most beautiful pain that I had ever felt. And
wow.
Beautiful pain, right? Because you wouldn't put those two words together. But I think that phrase is so significant to this type of situation.
Yeah.
Because it's painful to stay and it's painful to leave.
Oh,
but on the other side of that pain is something so beautiful. And I just felt drawn to share that. It to me, it's hugely connected to the emotions and the thoughts associated with this type of journey.
Yeah, I love that. I'm full of emotion thinking about that. Thank you for sharing that quote. The beautiful pain characterization is really touching. Can you say where you found that? Or who that's by?
Probably Pinterest.
Okay.
I go. That's where I find my quotes.
Okay. That's okay. I can put it in the show notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's probably an author to it. I honestly read so many affirmations a day, I can't keep track. But yeah.
Okay. No, that's okay.
That's a meaningful one.
Yeah, it really is.
So how do we find that beauty? How do we get to that beauty on the other side of the pain, right? And that's what the self-love coaching program is about. It's a coach working with you through these steps, through the pain, through the discomfort, to get you in a place where you're healing in all aspects of your life and finding that beauty in yourself and in life again.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. I know.
Do we have tissues? I know that. Where are the tissues?
That just flowed. It just flowed from your soul. So can you tell us a little bit about what this program is? What are we going to get from this program?
Okay. So there are several steps. The way that we have broken up this program is in 6 steps. They cover grief, setting boundaries, letting go, healing, acceptance, and then ultimately learning how to move forward by choosing self-love, by choosing yourself. And it's important to know that this is all grief. There's steps, you go up, you go down, you feel like you go all around. It's like a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster of emotions. But I think the most important part is to know that in this program, we are holding space for you. Where you're not being judged, you're not being criticized, you're not being forced to heal in a certain way. We're just present with you. We're present with you through all of it, through every stage, through every step, through every, whatever words you want to use, as you're learning, growing, healing, transforming into a new you.
I love it.
You're transforming into a new you. Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's important for us, to clarify also the importance of a program like this as a piece of your journey. And that there are other very, very important pieces to this kind of journey. If you are leaving or have left a toxic, unhealthy relationship, and or if you are still in one, right? So what we both are mental health professionals. I'm a psychologist, you are a licensed professional counselor, and both of us work in the therapeutic realm as well. And so we recognize that therapy and counseling can be a very, very important part of your journey. And we recommend that you do that as well. But we also want to make clear that this is not therapy. This is not counseling. This is this is a coaching program where you are, like you said beautifully, we're holding space without judgment that builds upon your strengths, right? Because even though you may not know what they are, you are strong when you are in any stage of this relationship journey. You have strength, you have resilience, and this coaching program helps to build on those strengths to help you keep stepping forward, moving forward. And sometimes you step forward and you slide back a little bit, and the space is held for you there without judgment, no matter if you are, feel like you're moving back, feel like you're moving sideways, feel like you're not moving at all. The space is here when you're ready for it. And the support is there and consistent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We do recommend that you seek mental health resources in your area, right? So this program is virtual. It also, there is an in-person component if you are in the Lehigh Valley where we are. There's a couple different ways that you can access this program, which we will get to in a little bit. But just as we are on this topic of resources, you can go to drliz.com/resources to find mental health resources in your area. We recognize that this podcast is broadcast across the globe, which is so wonderful. And so you can go to our website to find, at least in the United States, you can enter in your zip code and find resources. And we will also put in the show notes other resources for you if you are currently in an unhealthy, abusive, or toxic relationship, resources that you can find as well in your area. So a couple of resources if you are in the Lehigh Valley where we are physically located. We will just give those to you. The Turning Point of the Lehigh Valley, the website is turningpointlv.org. And the Third Street Alliance. The Third Street Alliance is another organization in the Lehigh Valley. The website there is thirdstreetalliance.org. And if you are for national, so in the U.S. across the country, we will just say the number. It's 800-799-7233, the National Domestic Violence Hotline. So that is the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, ncadv.org. Okay. We invite you to check also the show notes for links to those organizations as well.
And I think just to explain the reason why this program is only designed for the women who have left is because it's very difficult to find yourself in the same place that you lost yourself.
Mm.
And to heal in a place where you're still constantly being hurt, I feel like it's almost impossible to achieve. And just in my own personal journey, I mean, I was using all my strength to keep things together, to manage and make it through day-to-day tasks and life. But it wasn't until after I left and was able to look back into the situation that I truly saw so many more toxic components that I didn't even realize when I was in it. Because when you're in it, you're surviving, you're in survival
Yes.
mode. When
Mm-hmm.
you're out of it is when you can let your guard down. Hopefully, you're in a safe environment that allows you to be able to finally release all those emotions, all that pain, and then start healing from that.
So tell us, Vicky, about how we can access this program. What are the different ways that people can participate in the A New You program?
Okay, so great question. My thoughts about putting the versions together for this program is first off, acknowledging how difficult it can be for someone to acknowledge or speak up about the fact that they have been in a toxic relationship. And that's why the first version is self-directed. So an individual can go onto the website and just purchase the program, which there is a video and a handout for each week, 6 weeks, and you do it solely on yourself. The other option, like above that, would be it's still a self-directed program, but then you're also offered 2 individual coaching sessions with me, and that just provides some extra support to kind of process the information that you're learning about. If you have any questions, concerns, barriers that are coming up for you, that would probably be the version that I would recommend the most, because it's still not completely out there, right? Like it's like attending the group in person might feel intimidating or anxiety provoking. So I feel like that middle platform is like kind of the best of both worlds. And then the third option would be an in-person group program where you would then meet other women who have also left domestic violence situations.
Okay, yeah. So you have a few different options depending on where you are at in your journey, what resources you already have, what resources you need, because it is an important consideration to recognize that we want this to be as flexible and also as accessible to as many
Mhm.
people as possible, in the mission, in the vision of offering help and support. So you can do it all by yourself if that's something that where you are at right now. You can also engage in the version where you have individualized coaching from Vicky, where the coaching piece allows that empowerment to build on your strengths. Again, going back to that message that you are strong, you have resilience, you have been walking strongly at different points, no matter if you can identify those moments or not, they are there. And the coaching program can also help you to build on those strengths as you continue your journey forward in this life. And then a group program option, which is wonderful because if you've listened to any of my programs or podcasts before, you know how much we love the power of connection.
Mhm.
Connecting with
Mhm.
people, connecting
Mhm.
with others who are experiencing similar dynamics. And again, I love that opportunity for connection, and it also highlights the unique aspect of everyone's journey. So
Mhm.
recognizing that yes, there is some overlap when we consider moving out of a toxic relationship and moving forward in life, and yet also recognizing that it's not the same for every person.
Mm-hmm. And just recognizing how lonely it can be, because it's not uncommon in these toxic relationships where the individual will use some level of control, power, manipulation, gaslighting to isolate you from
Mm.
family and friends. And so that gets scary. And the gaslighting and manipulation can make you feel like you're crazy, like you can't even trust yourself, you can't even trust your truth, because other people in your life might not be acknowledging what is happening if you have even spoken up to anyone about it. And so just to kind of reiterate the importance of knowing that you aren't alone in this journey. And that I think you can learn through any version of the program, knowing that you aren't alone. But I think that's where the group aspect probably provides the most.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. One of my favorite parts of the program, well, I love it all, but one of my favorites is the portion, letters to a new you. Can you explain
Mhm.
that to us? Tell us about that.
Okay, so the initial thought of that is to write letters into me. So you're writing into the program and you're kind of sharing your thoughts, your feelings, your concerns, your barriers, writing that out loud. And as a way for me to provide then that coach and begin understanding you and providing that coaching and validation for you. But then the other aspect of that, another way to view that, is letters to a new you, meaning you writing letters to yourself as the new version of you, and identifying who does this new woman want to be like, think like, feel like. She's going to be brave and she's going to be outspoken and she's going to be confident. And I don't think any of us start out in that place, especially when we're still living in that environment.
Mm.
But to envision, right, to have this vision,
Mm-hmm.
visionistas, to have this vision of who am I going to be? Who am I going to become through this program of healing? And I think that's just such a beautiful thing to be able to focus on, because again, like, you're not alone in creating your new healthier version. It's with the coach, it's with the group, supporting you every step of the way.
Yes.
So
Yes,
it's
I love
it's
that.
it's just it's beautiful.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, and I think that that is such an interesting and such a powerful piece of this of this talk that we're having today, is that there are some things you can do right now wherever you are in your journey. Um, excuse me, without, you know, even if the this program is not for you, we still want to be able to clearly give you some tools and strategies, and that is one of them, is to have an outlet, whether it is journaling. So I know sometimes it's scary to keep a journal, but one of the things that we talk about a lot in our work is writing something down, getting it out of your mind, out of your heart, out of your body, and then ripping it up. You can
Mhm.
rip it up, you can burn it, you can throw it away,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
it's scary sometimes to keep, record of those thoughts, record of those feelings. And so getting it out in some way, some outlet, whether it is writing it and then tearing it up and getting rid of it, keeping it if that feels safe to you, but other outlets of creativity, creating music, creating art,
Mhm.
crocheting, different things that
Mhm.
you are allowing yourself space and time to give your mind a rest, which sometimes can
Mhm.
feel hard, difficult, but allowing some of that energy to come out in a creative way can also be really helpful.
Yes, a couple of thoughts. So I have done every journaling option that you discussed. I have journal, I still currently journal and then rip up my journal entries. A few months back, well, I guess it was a few months after I had moved out, I had done like this burning ceremony where I
Mm,
had taken 3x5 cards and then I had written down a negative thought or old belief on each of the cards, and then I burned them one by one as a way to like release, like I am no longer accepting, toxic behavior towards me. And so that was another form. I think they can all be beneficial. And going back to self-love, and like going off of what you're saying, like you can do a little something every no matter where you are in your journey. The one huge thing that I learned through all of this is how to love myself again.
hmm.
So when you're in a toxic relationship, I think a thought that can cycle through our mind a lot is we're not worth it. I'm not enough. I don't deserve it. I'm not worth it. Like, why am I not worthy of love and respect? And you really start doubting yourself a lot. Like, why can't he just love me? Why can't he just treat me the way that I deserve? It gets really messy emotionally. And one of the most beautiful things, right? Again, going through that beautiful pain, one of the most beautiful things that I've seen happen in my healing is I get to ask myself what I need
Yes.
now that I'm out. Every day I get to say, Vicky, what do you need right now? How
Mm,
can you love yourself right
mm,
now? And to realize that I can love myself. I don't need someone to love me. I can love myself. I make my needs priority, even if he didn't. So, and sometimes that's taking a nap. I love my afternoon naps. Taking a nap, I'm going to journal. I'm going to color. I'm going to paint my nails. I mean, and the list goes on and on. And to realize that every week I make time to show myself love. And it empowers me every single time. It strengthens me every single time, reminding myself of this is how I deserve to be loved the whole time.
yeah.
And it's okay if I'm the one giving myself the love. I should be. Like, we should all be loving ourselves.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and so, yeah, so self-love coaching program, right? We're
Yes.
learning how to love ourselves again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that has such a deep meaning. And I do invite you all to think about that as you're listening, your own reaction to the label of self-love, right? Because I know that there's a lot of different reactions that can be happening. Like, yes, I love myself, to how I don't love myself, right? Or how could
Mhm.
anyone love me? And
Mhm.
we know that that's possible. And so I love that sometimes, even if you don't believe it, you don't have ownership in that love yet for yourself, or you do, and it wavers, right? Because it wavers from day to day, or it can, excuse me, that sometimes just doing an action, like you said, painting your nails or saying, what do I need? Taking a nap, giving your child a hug, snuggling with your pet, is part of the self-love. And the more action that you take in those kinds of nurturing activities, little by little, step by step, you're strengthening that muscle of self-love. And that is, you can do that right now. You can do that today. And we invite you to do that. Show yourself love, and start now. There's no time like now to start that
Absolutely.
journey. Yeah.
And I think I might have shared in the first episode with you that the one activity that I had started was swinging. I
Yes.
had bought my kids a saucer swing.
Mhm.
Did I share that?
Yes.
And I
Yes.
still, and I still, on the days that we've had nice weather, I will go outside in my hoodie or whatever, and I will just swing and look up at the clouds and feel the sunshine on my face and the wind in my hair. And it's such a beautiful mindfulness moment to just be in nature, and to just kind of
Yeah.
just be in this moment and relax and breathe. And even something like that, like no judgment of yourself, like if that's the thing that you enjoy, if that's the thing that brings you peace, then do it, even just for 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes of self-love, and that counts. Every minute counts with that.
Yes. Yeah, and I love that. And I have to tell you, yes, you mentioned it on our podcast episode in November, and I was secretly hoping that Santa would bring me a swing like that. He
He
didn't.
didn't?
He did not.
Oh
But
man.
I've seen them, since
Yeah.
in stores. Maybe
Yeah.
Mother's Day, that's coming up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love that. Yes, and we talked about it then, that just the freedom that is there when we think of the movement and the soothing in that movement, but also when you describe it, you're in nature and you're also taking time for yourself. So whether you have a swing or don't, even just taking 5 to 10 minutes to do something by yourself with yourself, and whether that's just going outside, walking around your house, doing something for you, is an important part of it. The program is coming soon.
Yes. Yes.
And we wanted to share that you can find it at the website, visionistasbydesign.com. You can find Vicky there. You can go on to the website, click programs. You can click right on Vicky's page. There will be links everywhere for you to find and read more about the program. And I really, Vicky, as I've said before to you personally and on our last episode, I love so much having connected with you and the space and energy that we share together. Whew, there's the emotion. Connection and collaboration, something that we talked about as we were kind of warming up for this episode, is that, this program, like I said, is part of your heart and soul, and to have seen it grow and develop here has been so empowering to me. And I love the energy that you spill into everything that you do, with intentionality and beauty. And I'm so excited for you and for all of the people that will be touched, that have been touched by your energy and your love, and that will be through this program. I am so excited to see this and to be walking with you, and seeing this come to life. So I'm very excited.
Thank you. I am excited to work with some women on their transformation journeys. So it's going to be a beautiful thing. I foresee lots of tears, but I foresee lots of smiles and moments of rejoicing and empowerment and self-love. And healing can be scary, but it's also very, very rewarding to see how we have the ability to completely transform our lives and ourselves.
Yeah.
And deep breathing.
And deep breathing. We do a lot of breathing. We do a lot of crying. We do a lot of celebrating. Hopefully
it's a good place to be.
Yes, you're feeling our energetic hug today. Wherever you are, we are embracing you with our spirit. And so we invite you to check out this program. We also invite you to listen back to this episode again and again, because no matter where you are, if you can access the program or you can't access the program, or it's not time yet for you to access this program, it will be here when it's time. And that there are tips and lessons in this episode and in all of the things that we offer to you on our website and in social media to help you wherever you are in your journey. And again, to encourage you to reach out for resources. Again, they will be in the show notes. They're on the resources page at our websites. And to get in connection with a trained mental health professional, to start the healing. If you are still, if you are in a place where coaching isn't enough, right? There is the absolute reality that that more help is needed, we strongly encourage you to find a mental health professional in your area and reach out for that support. And also to recognize, even if you are still in therapy, this can be an adjunct, a piece to that puzzle that helps along with that. So we're very excited to give birth to this program. Go ahead.
I was just going to say with labor pains.
Yeah.
There will be labor
The
pains
beautiful
involved.
pain. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
right?
Beautiful
Because
pain. Yeah.
we do have that tendency, if you've ever given birth, maybe you
Yeah.
can call it beautiful pain. I can now
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah,
far
for
enough
sure.
away from it.
For sure.
In
For
the
sure.
moment, not so much.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much for connecting with us on this episode. Thank you for coming back. If you have listened before, if this is your first time, welcome. I invite you to check out the episodes that have come before. There are some amazing ones out there. We also invite you to share this episode. So if there's someone in your life who needs to hear, who would benefit from hearing this message today, please share it. You can text this, you can send it through Messenger, you can email it to a friend or a loved one, and spread the love, share the power with whomever needs it. So thank you, Vicky. Vicky, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for your energy and for putting this program together and putting it out there to help many.
Thank you. I am forever excited about the adventures that we will have together and create together for our community. So lots of very beautiful moments in our future I can see.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Well, that is it for today, and I cannot wait to connect with you all again next time. Take care. Thank you for connecting on this episode of the podcast, Empowered by Design. For further connection, subscribe to my email list at drliz.com to be sure that you are in the loop for exciting news, events, and resources. You can also follow me on social media at Dr. Liz and at Visionistas by Design. I invite you to subscribe to this podcast and send this episode to one of your people in order to share the love, spread the power. This podcast is designed to inspire, educate, and empower you to pursue your dreams with intentional vision. This podcast is not meant to be a substitute for psychological treatment or a working relationship with a licensed mental health professional. For more information on connecting with mental health resources in your area, visit drliz.com and click on resources. Thank you again for connecting, and remember, trust the heart, work your vision, dream, design, deliver.